Good morning. I'm Aziz from Established Design, and we are at the FIMA booth today discussing luxury in bath spaces. As panelists, we have Kavya Sheth from Studio Room, Rajiv Kuslani from Studio Cab, Vinitra Amarnathan from V Spaces, and Nidhi Vaish from Yellow Brick Road Designs. While I was sort of doing some research on each one of you, I thought it would be boring if I would just talk about you guys. I would rather ask specific questions that I found interesting about you or your practice, and you could just elaborate slightly on that. So Kavya, you graduated top of your class, and then you moved to Italy to do your master's in design. Mm-hmm. So I wanted to understand how was it studying design in Italy and as compared to what you'd study in India?
I think the overall exposure was completely different because in India, the way you're tutored is, at least for a bachelor or a master program, a lot of it is still spoon-fed to us. In Milan, what was very interesting is that there was a lot of learning happening from lecturers, guest lecturers, real clients, right, but a lot of learning even between students. So we were put in groups, we were given real projects to work on right during the education phase. And this could be, I was put in groups with people from Turkey and Bulgaria or Africa, Lebanon. So you're learning so much about each other's background, culture, how different people think, right, and coming up to solve a design problem altogether. So exposure was very holistic in that sense.
Right. Rajiv, I've known you for quite a long time now. And we've seen you grow over the past, 7-8 years since we've known each other. What I found out recently that you have expanded your business in Middle East and Africa, right? So I wanted to understand what sort of steps were taken as a business practice consciously to expand in international markets.
I'll be very honest, nothing was conscious. As a practice, I believe in getting repeat clients more than trying and getting new ones. So it's the same clients that often that we've serviced in India, we end up servicing them in Africa.
Is it different servicing clients in the Middle East and in Africa as compared to India?
If it's the same clients, not. The only challenge is when you're sitting in a different country and working somewhere else. It gets a little challenging, but if you have the right PMCs in place, if you have the right labor in place, and if you have the right systems in place, you can execute projects across the globe.
Okay, great. Vinitra, your practice is 8 years old, correct me?
Yes.
Within a very short span, I would say, you managed to achieve a lot from what I've understood of these spaces. You've been on AD 100, and I've seen that you probably have some 95,000 followers on Instagram. Wow. Which is these days, it is something that a lot of designers aspire that kind of following and so on. So obviously good design is core to any of these achievements, but were there any business decisions that were taken to kind of reach or shorten the span to reach this milestone?
I wouldn't say that. I think the whole process has been so organic for us. None of it was, I think I started doing Instagram early on. Maybe that's one of the reasons. And my approach had always been to connect with people because I'm not from the industry and I honestly didn't know anyone, or I didn't even know how things are done here. So I think the thought process behind Instagram then was, put what you like out there, and then there were people following. So it became
more casual in nature.
Exactly, right. And that just snowballed into what it is right now. And even with the work that we do, I don't really think that we tried to do anything other than just follow what is
Maybe,
sounding right
maybe
to
a
us.
very strong focus on designing
Yes, definitely.
and then letting the other things be as is.
Absolutely.
It happened more organically. For you.
Absolutely. I think that's even now the way we work is, I think I always remember what my dad used to say when I was, growing up. He would always say, just put your head down, do your work, everything else will happen. So I think that's really what we do even now. So
Yeah, that's good advice. Okay, Nidhi, you worked with brands such as Taj, Smeg, Lutra, GM Modular. These are now big brands and they would probably come with a lot of guidelines of their own. So I wanted to understand, how would you have the creative freedom while retaining these strong brand guidelines that these people bring?
I think the common factor was that they all are looking for experience centers or experience that they want. So it is about the experience that I have in the industry and to bring that to their brand. So we are looking from the customer point of view, the user. So it becomes for them important start point. Like for Taj, they have their own design language coming for a particular hotel. But now things are changing and they want to also redefine. So we have to think sometimes from the point of maintenance, materiality, which will work in hospitality. So I think every project gives us a new challenge, and the other side also, they are very open because they are not restricted when they are hiring us. They are very open to redesign and experience.
Okay, great. Now we'll move to the topic at hand, luxury in bath spaces. My first question is for you, Vinitra. How do designers craft a unique narrative for each luxury bath, reflecting each client's lifestyle?
I think when we work on residences for clients, we realize that it's a private extension of them. So I think a lot of thought that goes into building design for residential projects is trying to understand how a client lives, who he or she is, and how can we translate that into design. And now I wouldn't say just now, but largely now, I think the extension into bathrooms is becoming a lot more conscious. Earlier, what used to happen was there was a builder-grade bathroom and clients would actually refrain from touching that, thinking that, oh, who'll do this now? Who wants to break everything?
Correct.
But now we're saying that clients are saying more that, hey, this is a part of my house. This should be an extension of my personality. And I'm not about beige and boring, and I want to do something more to it.
They become slightly more serious about their bath spaces.
And then once you've kind of crossed that bridge, when you know that you're going to do something to it, that's where I think the whole personality aspect and the luxury aspect comes in. And I think to me, even now, if you ask me, luxury is having a bathroom window, like having natural light there, having space, and being able to consciously create moments like whether it's a little, bathtub area or whether it's a long vanity counter, 2 sinks. These are the ways we think that, you can bring in that feeling of...
I think you got a very good point here, where luxury has evolved quite a bit, right? It's not just glossy surfaces and fancy looking materials. It's more about, I think it's more individual. It's more about how I feel comfortable, and most comfort that I can draw from a space would be luxury for me. Rajiv, assuming you get 2 clients with the same brief and the same budgets and the same everything, would you design the same space, or would you still sort of play around with the design spaces and have some certain individual elements, regardless of the brief being exactly the same?
It really doesn't happen that two clients have exactly the same brief. And what separates, yes, of course, so I want to get to that. What separates each of our projects is the client's personality. So in this case, if it's hypothetical and the brief is exactly the same, what we would do, because even within our office we have design teams, each of us think differently and draw inspirations on an everyday basis. So obviously we would end up designing two spaces very differently, even if let's say if the brief is the same, but the materials could be different. The plan is exactly the same, but what we use inside in terms of fittings, in terms of materials, that could distinguish the two spaces very differently.
Okay, Kavya, my next question is for you. How do architects and designers define and evoke feelings of luxury in a space using, so over and above the decor, obviously you would want to have a complete experience, right? So touch, sound and scent, would that be part of a designer's role as well, and how would you incorporate it?
I think there was a time when luxury was very visual. Today, it really surpasses that. It's a lot about personalization. It's been personalization for a while now. We're really talking about hyper-personalization. So even if it's a husband and a wife using the same space, the amenities a husband would require could be very different from that of a wife.
Okay.
And bringing in that sense of luxury could be holistic from the touch of things, the sound of things, how your space should smell. And these could be very subtle nuances that could really elevate the smallest experience of your day-to-day life. It could be luxurious for me that my shower fitting knows that I want a 15-minute bath on a weekday compared to an hour-long soak on a weekend. And the temperature is perfect. The smell differs from a weekday to a weekend. Because maybe on a weekday I want something to energize me, but on a weekend I really want to feel more relaxed and stress-free. So using the right kind of materials, the finishes on the materials, stones, finishes on fittings in particular, and we're getting sleeker and sleeker fittings. I don't know if the cameras are capturing that, but fittings that can really disappear, so materials stand out. Yeah.
And so you spoke about husband and wife. Now, I had heard recently that there have been bathrooms that are being designed separately, as in they're two different bathrooms.
Yes.
Is that a new thing that's happening in the
It's
industry?
been
It's not, it's been happening for the last 3 to 5 years, I think.
Okay.
And it's also because both of them work equally. They have different roles in the home in general. They have different lifestyles, different waking hours, different personalities. So you can loop all of that in without disturbing your spouse.
So to add to that, even for kids, kids are growing, but you don't realize the bathroom needs to grow with them.
Correct.
You can always put a stool, but the kid, they have been, families we have designed for them, where the counter is lower. And with, after 5 years, you can rebuild and, make a higher counter. So for kids also, there is so much of ergonomics that needs to be sensitive towards the, the user, which is the child.
Right. But I feel that having a single bathroom, it creates some sort of engagement with your spouse. Like it's a fun banter.
That's what the bedroom is for.
Fine. Point taken. Okay, Nidhi, coming to you. Does culture and heritage influence bath spaces in different parts of the country?
Definitely.
How does it?
So I'll give you an example. We got a brief from a client, very simple brief. We were building a farmhouse near a lake. And it's been more nostalgia connected to it. But I would say cultural or this heritage, the connection the client had is somewhat emotional. And the ritual of taking baths somewhat spiritual also, and that's what we wanted to bring into the design. We did the whole flooring in pebbles, so it's like walking over the river banks and then you're taking your shower. It's sort of spiritual when you do that, and that's what we created because it's a farmhouse. You can have your luxury bathrooms. This is another sort of luxury which you see. But here we did the shower area which has the rough, stone, the local stone, the Sadar Hali. And that has been traditionally used to do oil baths.
Okay.
And that is very, common in South. So people would ask for that. It's anti-slip also naturally. Plus it really is used for the oil bath. So we did that. And the bathroom had 3 courtyards, small, but bathroom was huge. So the 3 triangles, you have the WC, shower and the sink. They all had their own small courtyards, which creates that natural connection through, your all senses, your smell. So there is a, temple tree in one of the courtyards. So when you are in one of the zone, that's what you're connecting to the nature. So the whole ambience through material, I think it really resonated. And the last thing was how the water is heated. That was, usually, traditionally, the slow heating of the water is considered ready to get absorbed in your skin. Okay. That's what it's been thought of. So something which is fast and we think it has to be instant, all heat pumps are all around us. But they are briefs which we get, and especially in this project, we did the wood fire, the system set up for heating the water.
Wow.
So I think the
sounds like a
entire
dream.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a dream. So
It
that's
sounds
the
like a lot of effort also, no?
it sounds a lot of effort, but I think it's the intent. It's an effort for the client to maintain. But it's a farmhouse. There is this is all naturally available. I think more than the technician being available.
Living a slow life, I'm assuming.
Slow
like, yeah.
life, and that's the break you would like to take.
But that there is luxury for some. That's the definition.
It is.
It is
I feel
luxury,
it is.
absolutely,
Luxury
because
is
it's
very
experience, right?
experiential, exactly.
I mean, this is what we pay. I think you go to wilderness to get the real peace of mind. That's luxury. The most expensive resorts in the world are in wilderness, So I think there is no end to it, and this is something which stays with you, lingers on forever.
If some of us have seen Jeffrey Baba's bathroom in Dunuganga,
Yeah.
you've had a glimpse. It's an experience. It's a room.
Yeah.
It's massive.
Which is outdoors, very beautifully designed, where you'd like to spend some time, and you can just also happen to do your business in there.
Wow.
Wow.
I also wanted to understand, would region affect, like in terms of design specifically? Like, would a bathroom in Rajasthan be different from MP, from Tamil Nadu, from Maharashtra? Is there such briefs also coming from personality traits of clients from different regions, or it's more or less same or similar?
See, sometimes it's where the client is traveling. It could be they're based out of that city. But what you resonate with, like one of my clients wanted the Moroccan bath, it's not rooted in our Indian history, but you associate bath with the Moroccan style,
Correct.
the hammams,
Hammams.
the whole mosaics, so, and having a bathtub freestanding. So all those elements starts coming in. So
Can we incorporate traditional crafts, artisanal techniques in modern bath spaces? Is that this is an open question. I'm not asking it to any specific person, but is there a way to do it? Like bringing in Jaipur, obviously Moroccan, they have their techniques that have been, but we have a lot of Indian crafts and techniques that if studied and improvised could be used. So are there any such techniques that you all can think of that?
No, I was just in Udaipur last weekend, and we went to the Uday Palace. They had glass, they had mirrors everywhere, and there's a reason to put that is to naturally heat the place because there's a lot of reflection, and somewhere during the winter time it really helps in. So I saw the bathrooms which they had that time, and they had these small elements into the bathroom which were practical yet very beautiful to look at aesthetically.
I think it's also about which direction a client wants to go in. A lot of times, clients might want to look at their homes or bathrooms as an escape from where they are. And that could also come from, let's say, someone who's lived somewhere else and has now, an inclination for a different style of living.
Right.
And therefore, your whole home and your bathroom sort of embodies that, versus, let's say, someone who wants to be a little bit more rooted and who wants to be more classical. And that's a different approach.
Unless you know what's out there, you
Right.
would not know what else you can incorporate in your space.
Yes.
But there are ways to bring in inlays, whether it's stone inlays, depending on where you're sourcing, using regional materials, more vernacular materials.
Right.
And I think there are a lot of Indian crafts that can still be brought in very subtly. A lot of our clients are preferring to use regional or more vernacular materials that they can source from around without damaging the environment, damaging your pockets. And these crafts can come in the form of inlays, they can come in the form of stone techniques or finishes. This can also extend to mirrors or lights that you bring in. So whether you're doing thatera or bidri work, they can be
Right.
smaller nuances of it. It doesn't have to be very bold and in your face,
Correct.
but subtle hints of really what your story is, or a story of a particular region that can come in a very unstated.
I think this is more prominent in hospitality. Correct me if
Yeah,
I'm
yes.
Like you go to Jaipur, you'll see hotels which have that traditional Rajasthani designs and craft work that's happening.
But it could also be Kerala, it could be Rajasthan, yes, Gujarat, parts of Gujarat, or even the Far East.
Yeah, we honestly have a lot of crafts in every state of India.
Yeah.
So it's a matter of just studying and figuring out what works best.
Yeah.
Okay, coming to Vinitra. What are the latest innovations in luxury fittings? And would you face challenges at times when you need to incorporate certain new elements in spaces with a client? or perhaps understanding for yourself as a designer?
There's a lot in the bath space that we're noticing now. I think along with the way we are living and our lifestyle, I see that a lot of bathroom fittings are also evolving. Like there are sensor-led WCs. Now we don't necessarily need a health faucet. There are bidets incorporated into a WC, which makes it look a lot more seamless. And similarly, the shower experience, I think, has so much to offer.
Yeah.
You really have to kind of get into the detail of who wants what kind of a shower experience. And we're able to do that. So I think, that whole concept of experiential luxury is very extendable into all areas of the bathroom now.
Flexibility has come in.
A lot. And the other thing is, even within shower systems, earlier it was so that you had to take like one whole block of whatever, right? Now we're able to mix and match. Like someone wants to do, let's say, body jets, but doesn't want, a waterfall or something like that. So you can create your own system, and that's
Correct.
amazing. I think as a constraint, I would say, obviously budgets. We can't shy away from that. Every client will have to now see where you want to spend, how to prioritize, and what you can sort of pack into your bathroom.
Right.
Space definitely is always a constraint, right? Especially in our context, when you have apartments or when you have smaller homes, it's important that we see, does it really make sense for us to do so many things when your shower stall is, what it is? So I think that's something that we have to take into consideration.
But does the client ask you for your opinion, whether they want, whether you suggest body jets? Does that happen with you guys?
Yeah.
It does.
And we've had brands actually take us to some of these factories for us to experience it ourselves, what a rain shower would feel like. So you know very well when you're pitching to a client because you've experienced it firsthand as well.
Yeah, like simple things like, when you need a foot wash, you have a bench in your shower area.
Yeah.
Just put a hand shower also there. It just makes it so much easier. And so it's about the comfort and how they're using the space. Like we don't put the diverters where the shower is. It's at the entry.
Yeah.
So you don't want to go through it, and
Get wet
and get
figure your
wet.
temperature, yeah.
So these simple things does help to incorporate.
Any advancement in technology within the bath space? Would also AI make it slightly easier? So if you're talking about flexibility, so to say, maybe we could feed in some information to an AI, if we want XYZ, and then the AI would tell us.
Yeah.
So is that something that can be
I see
played with?
comparative analysis as the first thing I would want AI to do, right? You have a plethora of options, and
Right.
if you're able to sort of say that this is exactly what I want and this is the price point, and we can see the landscape of what is available and what is best suited to a client, and possibly something along those lines, because there's,
Any thoughts, Rajiv?
Also, I feel that different. How does a shower feel? Not essentially how it looks, but how water droplets fall from a shower.
Correct.
I believe they are different in different showers.
Yes, absolutely.
If one can sort of take AI's help and
Understand.
narrow that down for you, so that would probably help.
Right.
So I feel that automation or the tech is all across in every product that you have in the bathroom, right from your WC to your bathtubs. But how to make them, efficient? How to make them relatable to you? Because those are just the tech. What AI is the brain, because it is machine learning, right? It's thriving on data.
Right.
So what it is actually working is basically on your usage. More you use, the way you use, when you use, it is learning, it is developing. So things, slowly I think it will adapt to you. It doesn't come with a preset. That's an automation which is a preset. But you cannot compare that with AI. AI is intuitive. It is growing with you. So today I come back and I look at a suggestion which already pops on our laptop, screens, like, okay, you want to shop this or that. It already knows what you are looking at, right?
Yeah.
That's what will happen in the bathroom. Like if you have come from a travel, your system knows it, because it is not just looking at your bathroom, it's looking everything that you're doing. It's networked and connected to your entire movement.
Right.
So when you come home, it's telling you, oh, great, you had a tough day.
take a
can I
shower.
set this temperature for you? It is kind of a butler service or somebody who is
Yeah.
pre-planning
But that's
and
going to
saving your time. It's
That
going
is
to
happening
happen.
eventually. Like,
Absolutely.
I mean, sooner than later, actually, it will happen. So it is
Yeah.
slightly scary, also off topic, but I feel that now that AI has so much information about you, right?
Yeah.
Like your every movement is being tracked. I mean, even if it's all secured and whatever, not you'll still have that bulb in your head. कि यार ये बाहर जाएगा तो all my information is all.
I mean,
Out
faster
there.
we
Out
embrace
there.
it is better because you cannot run away from it. I mean, the moment that you have given your Aadhaar card, you are already there. So, it is
से PAN card
mandatory.
link कर दो.
So it is all linked.
But there
so
can be like cool extensions of that also. I think some of us have our best ideas in the shower.
Yeah.
So if you can talk to your shower and say, hey, I just thought of this, or I have this meeting, can you move this meeting here? You can talk to it can respond accordingly. And also
Alexa.
maybe like cold showers are such a popular
Yeah,
thing. So if they
absolutely.
understand you've had a workout, you come back, maybe the start of your shower without touching buttons, you start with lukewarm water, it goes to really high temperatures,
Right.
and then it dips, maybe you're ending with a cold shower, and it
Right,
automatically
right.
adjusts
Oh, that's very
according to your
interesting, huh?
routine.
No, it's
But they do that.
Some very fun.
I
It
actually do
saves
that.
you a lot
But
of
that's all
time.
manual every day.
Yeah, but
it
why?
saves you a lot of time. It adds to experience because as soon as you've come from gym, you can't
Yes.
be waiting for the bathtub to be filled.
Yes.
Right? It is automatically happening, or you can just give a command. You don't have to be in the bathroom
Correct.
to press a button or on a
Yes.
phone to do that. You can just tell your phone, "Hey, can you keep my bathtub ready?"
Yes.
But there is no. I'm surprised actually now that you brought it up. There is no device already in the industry that.
See,
does
it is
something.
about tech is there. It's how you design it. It's ultimately a switch. So that's what it is. There are three parts to it. One is the automation. The other is the brain, and the third is the designer. How you design and use both of these to integrate.
No, but all I'm saying is a simple product. Like I push a button, it is hot for a while, then it becomes lukewarm hot, then
Yeah,
cold.
yeah.
Exactly what we all do once
Yeah.
we out of the gym.
Yeah.
But you might
So it's
like it
such
one
a
day, you might
common
not like it
requirement.
the second day.
But that's where AI comes in. So it
Yes.
knows maybe on days, and maybe like even on days that, let's say you're menstruating, you're in a lot
Yeah.
of pain, you want a certain degree of water. On certain other days, you want to feel differently. You have a quick meeting, you have 5 minutes to shower, it knows how to tackle 5 minutes. You have 30 minutes in the shower, another day, it knows how to regulate water that way. So.
It's nice to get these many AI ideas of this conversation I had.
No, there is one more I can give where how the design is integrated.
AI expert.
Yeah, I just love tech, and my house is full of techies also. So like you have a simple device which you put behind the mirror, right? It is just a film it's a defogger, and the purpose is that the water should not stay on the surface; it's get heated, and that is experience itself is so we underestimate it, but it's really like a must. Because if you come out for a shower, you don't even see your face. So this is important. And second is the water is the enemy. Water is enemy on any surface. It just stays for long. Be it the mirror or the marble or
rusting.
the floor, it will have a stain, right? So, I mean, how do I integrate AI? There's a design, but there is no gadget or there is no product which is at a button. But we can program and use it. Where the same film can be used for the tiles or the floor heating, and as soon as you come out of the shower, it knows it's wet, it can sense it, and it will start heating, and the water is gone. Otherwise, you are just waiting once you take out. The whole beauty and the dream is over. Once the shower is taken. So it can be integrated many ways.
Okay, so now we move on from AI and tech. My next question is for Vinitra. What role does time play in luxury bathing experience? As we discussed, that it is. If you're expecting luxury, you want it to be like a slow process.
Yeah.
So, how would a designer intentionally choreograph a space so I am then moving subconsciously in that direction?
I think time itself is luxury to
Yeah.
begin with, And I think once you bring in intentionality to a space, which is what we are trying to do, then automatically, you are sort of trying to orchestrate how a person experiences in the space. You are allowing for moments to happen so someone can slow down. And intentionality and slowing down could be as simple as maybe, having a little niche at the right height, or having a bathtub tray or a little stool, the kind of towels you want to experience, literally across the whole spectrum of from when you enter to when you exit. The whole thing can be layered for all your senses really. And I think that's where the experience of luxury will come in.
But how involved are you as a designer in all these senses? Like, I mean, you would probably put certain things in place. You would never know if the resident is going to continue that process.
So I think, the input of what you want in a space is always going to come from the resident, right? Because you are the one who is experiencing. The
Correct.
user is the one who is going to experience. So how you want to experience a space will have to come from our clients. But then what do we do with that input is really upon us.
Right.
If someone, like for example, we did a bathroom recently where our client loves art. And our whole purpose was to design the bathtub and that area in such a way that we could frame a piece of art above it. So then you're thinking that, okay, I want to create this moment. How do I create this moment from a design point of view? Mm-hmm. So I want to go bold at the bottom. I want to keep it minimal at the top because I know something's going to come here. And how do I integrate lighting for this art? So all of that, I think that's where we end up playing a role in taking that input and making something their own. But I think there's also a little bit of a functional element that designers bring in here, especially since you say it in the context of time. If you want someone to slow down, then you also have to enable that experience for them. You can't really feel like slowing down in a space where let's say you don't have a space to put something down, or you don't have enough counter space.
Correct.
Or you have to go outside to
Shouldn't
bring
turn into a hassle.
So it has to be very thought through and intuitive. So all of that has to be built into design is what I feel.
Mm-hmm.
So it's about saving time for the client and spending more time
Thinking
for the
about
experience.
Enjoying the experience, I think it's about getting to know the client very well, like you rightly said. Some of those nuances can come with also educating the client. So I think it's a mix of educating the client and some amount of psychology. So even the right temperature of light, for example, maybe in the day you want a different color temperature, and the night you want a different color temperature, or you can vary the temperature in different zones of the bathroom. All of these like subtle moments, the client isn't even aware, but he's automatically a little calmer. He's automatically slowing down his heart rate or the pace in general.
Because we all have anxiety these days. So
And in
I
a
mean, there would
bathroom,
be. Sorry.
No, I was saying in a bathroom, if everything works well, then the job is done. Like large part of it, isn't it? It's like you don't want things to go wrong. That's
that part the client will realize much later. Of the handover. They will not realize on the first day when they look at it. Once they use it, they experience it, they realize, a lot was thought behind it.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but I think your time spent in the bathroom in today's world is one of the only moments you have only for yourself.
Yes.
That's why you have
That's
to
your
separate
alone
bathrooms
time.
for men and
You
women.
don't have to do stuff otherwise. Even if you're in a
That's the
cab,
main
otherwise you're
reason.
sharing a moment with somebody.
That's true.
Even making breakfast, like anything else that you do in life, you don't really have me time.
But what I've realized is that we take our phones in the bathroom as well.
Yeah.
I think that's a very bad habit.
But that
Completely
is,
off topic, but it's
that is
just
the main
stupid.
purpose.
Like if I want to be by myself, I should avoid all of that and just have that half an hour shower, whatever, do my business and then come back to my tech and my gadgets.
Reading the newspaper in the garden has gone into the mobile phone. in the
phone.
bathroom. That is
But
what is happening.
at least the newspaper has limited information. Phone is never ending. Raji, I have a question for you. How can fitting companies position themselves as wellness partners? So, what I've also come to realize over a period of time that this industry has moved very relationship centric, for the lack of a better word. But if most of these brands around us are offering brilliant products, right? But what ends up is your relationship with the brand or the person of the brand who is. So you have that comfort with a person or a certain set of people, and then you're buying things from them. So how can bath fittings company like FIMA perhaps position themselves as a wellness partner and not just someone who's selling products?
So I just want to go back to my experience as an architect. I had the privilege of working in London for some time. And there we used to have in our office something called the CPD.
Okay.
CPD stands for Continuing Professional Development. And the CPDs used to be organized by brands such as FIMA, other brands as well. And the intention was to educate the architects, who in turn are going to educate their clients, right? So I think that should start in India. Unfortunately, what happens is we are most of the times not dealing with company representatives. We are mostly dealing with the vendors of the company, and the intent is very different. So if the intent is to educate and not sell, the selling will happen automatically.
Correct.
So that is one thing that I strongly feel that brands across the board, representing all kinds of things like automation, bath, should start with offices, and brands should start, not the brand not the franchisee partners.
Correct.
One thing that I feel.
So educating
the
people.
Educating is one, and secondly, I think performance of, especially in the context of bath fittings, is very, very important. So if you design your experience center with how fittings look, okay, I'm going to select a certain color because I like it. But the client, who's the end user, see, because we as architects will put what we like, what's aesthetically pleasing.
Right.
The client is more interested in performance. So for the sake of the client, if experience centers can be designed in a way where they display the performance of a product, it should be a working product. And if that is done more often, I know there's constraints of space, but let's say the top 5 products can be displayed as an entire experience, not just the the diverter and the shower, but
In a bathroom setting,
let's say in a bathroom setting.
Yeah.
So furniture companies started that some time back. The more boutique ones started designing apartments instead of showrooms.
Right.
That really helped the client visualize how their house is actually going to look. So in the context of bath spaces, if that can be done, I think that would give companies like FIMA an edge.
And what clients see is an experience that sells. So they need to be educated. It's a journey in building a house and selecting products. So, but coming to FIMA or any other brand, like you said, the relationship, every relationship has a shelf life. So I would say, if you work with certain brands, you've done 10 homes, you can't keep repeating them in every project.
Correct.
But what I found different in FIMA, or they have purchased some brands, that they have so much of flexibility and versatility that no two selections you would have done would be same, because there is so much options to mix and match and permutate. So it just becomes I would say a long lasting relationship. And whenever they're coming and meeting us, it's always a feedback kind of a connection, which really helps. Because often I've seen we would ask something and they said, oh, this is actually coming in the next launch. So if a company is also researching, developing, continuously listening to architects' feedback, it really becomes even a more, I would say, cemented relationship. But said that, there would be a shelf life to that.
No, but that's a very valid point. Like, regardless of a bath fitting company or any company, that innovation bit is crazy right now.
Yeah.
And the kind of competition that there is in every industry segment, I think we all have to constantly be on our toes, or else we'll just be...
And it's very tough to be ahead of, the need, because...
you get ahead also, but you have to stay.
You have to stay, you have to supply.
More specifiers, you want to educate your client. You don't want your client to educate you.
Exactly, that's a bad position to be in.
They'll educate you on Pinterest first.
See, if you don't educate, somebody else in the client family will be educating. You don't want that situation. You should be the first one to tell them about the latest, about the tech.
But also these relationships are not until delivery and installation. I think one very crucial factor, especially in a country like ours, is after sales, AMC and service, because there are new brands every day. A lot of these brands are bringing in new innovations every day, but in a year and a half, if I'm going to have difficulty maintaining the product, not being able to use the product, or some functions aren't feasible anymore, then it's still not a lovely experience for me. The beauty of that experience has had a shelf life. So for them to be able to maintain those teams, I think is very important.
I think taking off from what she's saying, that's exactly what came to my mind, is you also have to contextualize to India. It's great that we're able to get all products today, in our cities and our whatever. But the point is, we have issues which other countries don't have. We have pressure pump issues, water pressure, hard water, soft water, all kinds of things. So how geared up is, a company for catering to those things is something that's very important, because a lot of times clients then feel that, okay, look, we've got all of this going, but now what? Now there's this problem. So
now as a country, we are known for hospitality. So we like to be very good in giving service, and we demand also. We demand extra service from everything. But when you have products which doesn't need service at all, that's something
that is
clients want something. I'm okay to pay extra. They don't want to go through that service bit. So really, we look for those kind of products also, where it's important. The partnership is there, the collaboration where they come and help in the fixing, but rarely we have to call them over for any maintenance.
Okay, great. So that's pretty much it. Thank you, everyone.